Everybody sees the highlights, the impossible passes,
Off to the races. What do you got? Yeah!
the logo threes, the flashy handles,
Ball has it on a string. Another three is.
and most people immediately assume LaMelo Ball is just another overrated social media star. But what if I told you almost nobody actually understands how good he really is? Because hidden behind the Instagram clips, the ankle injuries, and the losing seasons is one of the most naturally gifted offensive players in the entire NBA. A 6'7" point guard who sees the game differently from almost everyone else on the court. And the scary part is, I honestly don't think we've even seen his final form yet. Because if LaMelo Ball ever gets fully healthy and finally lands in a stable winning environment, the entire league might have a serious problem. Because this isn't just a flashy young guard putting up empty stats. This is an offensive engine manipulating defenses in ways that feel almost unnatural.
LaMelo, what a pass! Finds Bridges! Welcome back, LaMelo!
You just cannot teach instincts like.
And once you really break down his game, you start realizing why scouts were obsessed with him long before he ever entered the NBA.
Sits. LaMelo, the rip away. Clean air. Fire!
Because his greatest skill isn't passing, it's processing. He reads rotations instantly.
In the NBA. LaMelo taps it away from Giannis, and we got another dunk. Mason Plumlee!
Yeah, that's a good.
Sees angles before they open, recognizes weak side defenders before they react,
LaMelo behind the back. Plumlee behind the back.
Looking at LaMelo, knows 6'7". I got to get rid of him. LaMelo actually got a piece of that 2 blocks. You get a double block on one play, and then you get it. You go up. Look at this ball handling right here behind the back.
and plays with absolutely zero hesitation. While most young guards think before they move, LaMelo reacts before everyone else even understands what's happening.
Cody Martin. Nice dime, LaMelo.
The attention of LaMelo and Bridges in the middle of the.
And that kind of basketball imagination is incredibly rare.
Course of the game, people are going to come to you to try and help out. That's when you can get your assist. Ball. Wow.
Because you can teach mechanics, you can improve shooting, you can build strength, but you cannot teach someone to naturally see the floor like this.
Good challenge by Plumlee. That's what he brings to this year's club. Bridges. Oh my goodness! Rips it down with the right hand.
You know what to do. Look at this pass right here. Left hand over the head. Ball says, who's that to? It's to 0.
And once his scoring started improving, everything changed. Because now defenders have to guard him near the logo. And the moment defenses step too high, the entire floor opens up. Suddenly, you're trying to stop deep pull-up threes, floaters, transition attacks, lob passes, kickouts, and cross-court lasers all at the same time.
Dumps it to Biombo. LaMelo Ball rifles it inside, and Jalen McDaniels is able to score. Dwayne Casey's going to take a timeout.
And that's the type of pressure only elite offensive players create. But the biggest problem has never been talent. It's health. Because every time he starts building momentum, something happens. Usually the ankles. And that's why LaMelo Ball has quietly become one of the biggest what-ifs in basketball. Because if the injuries finally stop getting in the way, we might eventually look back and realize the NBA completely underestimated him. And honestly, the craziest part about LaMelo's game is that most people still judge him only through highlights, instead of understanding the actual pressure he puts on defenses every single possession.
Clock to 5. Ball, beautiful crossover with the left.
Because the second he crosses half court, defenders start reacting differently. Big men start stepping higher. Weak side defenders hesitate for a split second longer, transition defenses panic. And those tiny moments completely change the geometry of the floor. Because LaMelo doesn't just create assists, he creates confusion. And confusion is one of the most dangerous weapons in basketball, especially in today's NBA, where spacing and decision-making control everything.
7 points in the quarter for Terry Rozier. LaMelo, quick spin. LaMelo picked up by Vucevic on the switch. That's a tough step back three. My goodness, he is right.
And when you watch him closely, you start noticing how many easy baskets are created simply because defenders are terrified of what he might do next. And that's usually the sign of elite offensive players. Not just talent, but gravity.
He sees the super on the rim, tries to lay it in.
Look at that, stopping on a dive and giving three. LaMelo off the desire. He just wanted it.
Real gravity. The kind that bends defenses before the play even fully develops. And despite all the criticism surrounding him, despite the losing seasons, despite the injuries, despite people calling him overrated for years, he still became one of the youngest all-stars in the league while carrying one of the weakest supporting casts in basketball.
Good rotation by Minnesota. They're scrambling here, but LaMelo just has that knack of getting and what a
pass makes the difference. Tyler probably could have shot that ball, but the extra pass to Duncan's a much better look.
Shot clock to 5. Ball.
And people forget how difficult that actually is, because most young guards struggle just to adapt to NBA speed, but LaMelo came into the league already controlling tempo like a veteran.
Figure it out. LaMelo up.
basket, but miss. Jimmy's over 2. Nice pass by Ball. Cody Martin hammers.
And even now, it still feels like he's learning how dominant he can become, because physically he hasn't even fully filled out yet. Mentally, he's still evolving, and offensively, his confidence keeps growing every season. And if that development continues while the injuries finally slow down, we might eventually be looking at a player capable of becoming one of the most unique offensive engines of this generation. Not because he plays like anyone before him, but because almost nobody actually plays like him at all.
Right. It's a guy who's not drafted is given away.
So that's 2 turnovers in a row, and that's how you get this young team going.
Every rebound. Oh, Trae Young poked it away, but it stays with the Hornets. Look at that pass. PJ
Rozier has 18 to lead Charlotte. Split the defense.
Possessions, other than the bar hitting that tough shot.
LaMelo somehow finishes.
On Ball. 7 minutes to play. Ball gets tripped by Matthews. They're going to count that as a continuation.
Getting into this up and down action.
The oohs and the ahs from a big crowd in Little Caesars Arena, and for everybody in Flint and East Lansing.